Hey guys, this is Bahamut2K456, aka Baha, and I'm essentially just going to be making a little video here today for Dark Shadow Rage, showcasing an old project of mine, Demons and Angels I believe it was called. I have an old montage on here from a little while before I stopped working on it, actually. This is basically just a video showing him I don't really know how to map. So let's start with map DNA01. I only have two. This one's called Temple of the Sky. It's got this one was totally finished, actually. It was really pretty. First map I ever have done in Doom. So yeah, the first thing you'll notice is it's really freaking dark. That's because this entire thing was supposed to be stupidly demonic and dark and impossible to see, apparently. So yeah, not much of a sky temple, but it's definitely hellish in nature. Hate the ceiling. There was nothing I could do about that. I got a little overboard with the details, but other than that, well, maybe not even overboard, just I kind of like the lighting here. Got a little sacrificial pillar right here for the center, because it's supposed to be a temple, or a church. I believe it's Final Fantasy music. It fit well. I looped it. I remember spending on that. In case you didn't notice, over there was a moon, way over there, and this right here is supposed to be a sun, as you can probably see now. It's not as easy to see from the ground. I did make several weapons. There were 3 classes that I had mapped out. There was the, I believe, Prophetic Warrior, that was the name of him. His first weapon was the hammer. The normal attack is just a slow, powerful swing. It was a reskin Hexen hammer with a new effect. It doesn't seem to be making the sound for whatever reason. And the alt fire would throw you forward and do an even more powerful attack, but it has a really long cooldown on it. And this was intended as a balancing act because he's a really slow class compared to the others. Ooh. I'm noticing some gray on the corners of that. I did not do a good job of recoloring that. Then there was the Angel Bow, who was for the Angel. It was his only weapon. For the primary fire shoots arrows. Obviously, they have a really neat trail to them. They're all transparent, and if you get close to it, the arrow literally explodes. And the alt fire lets you fly around, and it leaves a trail, but I'm probably not going to be able to get it. Yeah, it's too dark in here. Then the other one, this was also for the Prophetic Warrior. It's the Angelic Flail. Essentially, this primary fire is just a regular swing attack. It makes you move a little bit faster than the hammer. And right-clicking throws you up in the air, and then you swing. Because, obviously, he can't fly, and it'd be a little unfair against him for the flying classes who have range. So it was all intended as a balancing act. The only other weapon I actually finished was the Blessed Wand. It was intended for the Bishop. His right-click heals. It uses ACS. It drove me up a frickin' wall. His right-click, it just heals. It has a different firing sprite. I believe this was a recolored Scepter. And the left-click fires a projectile, which just does normal damage. This heals teammates, only teammates. And this, well, it was supposed to only heal teammates, but it ended up killing everyone because it didn't work right. Hence driving me up the wall. And this one also explodes. And the other map I am going to show you, map DNA02, Motel Hell. It was not finished at this point in time, and I never did finish it. Yeah, look at that. Untextured, I could not fix it. There's no music, which is why it's eerily quiet all of a sudden. I did get a sky texture. The fountain looked terrible. It was all square and blocky. All it was, basically, was 2 sets of stairs with... I intended to do more, but I never actually updated it on this version of the map. And I don't know where that wall texture came from. Upstairs just has a bunch of beds randomly laying on the ground, broken textures, and something that was supposed to be an exit, but you weren't allowed to leave. So I blocked that off. It was supposed to be like a taunt, I guess. I don't know. I might have been taking crack that day. That's all there really is to say about this version of it. Nothing real fancy. Pretty basic and horrible, actually. And now we move on to the next part. And now we move on to the next part, as I just said, which is more completed. It has a song. Definitely a lot nicer. The wall textures are lined up now. This had a lot more work put into it. This was made of stone to more fit with the medieval age type thing. I rounded off the fountain and gave it some interesting star-like designs right here with dead bodies floating in the blood. Definitely a lot more advanced there. I made the explosion smaller that was in the ceiling. This left flight of stairs got turned into a blood slope, basically, which you will see why later. Flows right down from there and goes all the way down to a blood pit down here, and even pours off the sides right here, which eventually ends up flowing into this blood pit right here. And this would be why it's called Motel Hell. And there's no more broken textures, thank God for that, but this still wasn't finished. I had a lot more to do with it. The beds were partially finished. I broke a lot of them up, made it look like there was some fighting on them or something, basically. A bunch of tears and gouges taken out. There was intended to be more of these with blood pouring in from the outside, but I only got around to making one. There was supposed to be another one or two right here, one over there, one there. There was a lot more to do with this whole area. This broken texture shouldn't be here. And one thing I really wanted to do that drove me insane, I remember while making this, was right here. Fall down into this little pit of blood with dead bodies riddled all over, and this is where all the blood is draining out so the actual motel doesn't flood. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about it. It was intended to be an online multiplayer mod, Team Last Man Standing for Skulltag or zDoom, whichever flavor you prefer. I don't know, that's really all there is to say about it. These pillars right here would have had to have been removed along with these lights, but those would have come later. I mostly had them there to represent the light sources. I don't know, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this weird little tutorial thing of mine. Not even a tutorial, more of a showing, but yeah. See you guys later.